Hey guys, how's it going? So, God, I always say that, don't I? This week, I'm doing a Q&A. Sadly, I've been doing a lot of filming over the last 2 weeks for a company and taking a lot of pictures and that sort of thing. So I haven't had the chance to shoot a documentary like I would like to. We'll have a new documentary up in 2 weeks, and we'll have another documentary after that. So this week, I'm doing a Q&A. So, last weekend, I asked you guys for some questions, and you've given me like 40 questions, something like that. So I'm going to try and power through them as quickly as I can and answer your questions. Pretty generic, but let's do it. Okay. First question, what's your top favourite movies? So, I love films. I love all kinds of films. I think there's always something to learn from every film. Making films, a lot of people always ask me, what's your favourite film? And they think, it's going to be some really weird French Renaissance arty film. My favourite film is Wolf of Wall Street. Love it. Love the spectacle, love the cinematography, love everything about it. I love Martin Scorsese, so anything he's made, Shutter Island, whatever. Love it. Caroline Hawk asks, what was your favourite video to film, either on your channel or in general? I think that's really difficult, actually. In terms of films that are out on the channel right now, I really enjoyed filming the Calais film, going to Calais, linked that in the description. Really enjoyed the Longboarding film. And then What's the Calm? I absolutely loved shooting the war film, and I absolutely loved shooting the LA to NY film. Nine Fox, how do you get your non-copyright music? How do you find the places to film? I find my non-copyright music, normally I buy it from Audio Jungle, or if I've got friends who are musicians or something, I'll ask if I can use their stuff. How I find places to film, I used to use abandoned locations a lot, so I used to go to abandoned urbex forums and look through all the locations. And Kelly JM asked, hey Rupert, my question is, when did you start making films and short videos? Was it when you was a child? Yes, I started making films when I was very, very young, when I was like, not that young I suppose, like 10 or something. I started playing around with cameras. I didn't really take filmmaking seriously till I started a Nerf war business, renting out Nerf guns, and I started making videos to promote them. That's why this channel is technically called Nerf for Hire. And then those Nerf guns videos started to do well, and I started to really enjoy that, so I dropped the business and kind of just made Nerf war videos for a long time. You can see them, they're everywhere all over the channel. And that was when I was like kind of 14, 15, 16, made them for a bit and then moved away from it. How did you find good film festivals to submit your film to from Knife Blade Presents? Without a Box. Go to Without a Box, register an account, and there's loads of stuff on there. Amazing website. The Gaming Pin. How many minutes is the Army short film going to be? The Army short film is going to be, it is already, all ready to go, all ready to be released, and it's 15 minutes long. Showblow Bobble? Sorry. What's your favourite stoplight colour? Green. The Rainy Day video. If you could work with any cinematographer, who would it be and why? The guy who shoots Wes Anderson stuff. Because it's really, really cool and looks really, really nice. Jonah Malone, when's the Longboarding Across America documentary coming out? So, that should be coming out March next year. A little while, I know, but there is thousands and thousands of gigabytes of footage to get through. Jay Catchus, I think that's how you say it. Do you enjoy creating documentary films more than the scripted ones? What are the biggest challenges for each? Love your videos, can't wait to see more. I love making documentary films because I get to explore a little bit more. Often I get to travel, that sort of thing. I like how quick the turnaround is on them. I love theatrical films just because of the element of control. You can build a huge story and portray it any way you want. So both are super enjoyable. I love the theatrical elements. I love documentaries. The most challenging part of both of them, documentaries, is that you're not always going to get what you want to get. You kind of just have to take what you're given. And the thing about theatrical films is they take fucking forever to make. Postman Pat, have you ever thought about filming non-pornographic films? No. Katie, do you have a girlfriend? No. Pete and Clark, I'm wanting to go to the UK next year. Where do you recommend going? Any cool places that you couldn't find on a tour? Just explore, mate. Are you going to do any more longboarding? Also, what longboards did you use for the Longboarding the Length of Wales video? Cheers. After Longboarding Across America, I am going to continue longboarding. I am going to continue skateboarding, that sort of stuff. However, I don't think we're going to do any more long distance treks purely with longboarding. I'm sure I'll use them as a mode of transport partially in the future. The longboards we used in Wales and in America. We were actually sponsored by a company called Mindless Longboards. Amazing longboards. Gaming documentaries. What inspired you to start doing this, and do you see it as being a full-time career? Also, when will the Longboarding Across America be released? Will it be this year or next? What inspired me to do it? I started making these Nerf. As I mentioned, I started to have this business where we rented Nerf guns and wanted a way of promoting the business. So that's what got me into it properly. It kind of is my full-time career, it kind of isn't. I kind of work in marketing and film stuff really, and photography. Absolutely, it's what I want to do full-time, 100%. Actually want to go into theatrical filmmaking, probably most, but continue to travel in general. And yes, the longboarding documentary will be coming out early next year. How long will it take you to edit the America footage? Ages. We hope that we will have a rough cut by December, and then it will be ready to come out again early March, April time next year. MBD Vanan, what happened to Nerf for Hire and was it successful? Please answer this, smiley face. Nerf for Hire, I got more into filmmaking. I didn't have time to kind of do it. I was actually doing the business with my mum, renting these Nerf guns and stuff. We didn't lose money. We made some money. I got into a new career. And because of it, I found out what I wanted to do with my life. Definitely successful and worth it. Andrea G. Where is some place you've always wanted to visit, and what would you do there? P.S. I really liked your videos about travelling, bus and hotel. Thank you. Thank you. I want to go to India. Next film, India. Hardcore development films. What was it like to work with the Red One? Are you interested in using cameras like the Arri Alexas or Red Dragon, weapon on your future films? Are you more towards 8mm, 6mm, 35mm, 70mm, IMAX or digital 5D, GH4, Red, etc.? What was your favourite documentary that you have made? Okay, so favourite documentary I've made, The Nomad's Bus. In terms of cameras, working with the Red One was amazing. It's very, very heavy and very irritating, which is quite restrictive and a little bit complex to use, but I love the filmic images from it. In terms of me, I have no experience with film. I'm all for digital, and I think you can get pretty close to emulating the feel of film through certain cameras. I would actually say out of that range, the Red One is probably the one that's closest, closer than the Red Dragon or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, cinematography is something I'm very passionate about, but it's something that if I get to the point where I'm shooting stuff on an Arri Alexa, it won't be me handling it. So it just depends on what I'm shooting. You know, Arri Alexa's pretty glossy and beautiful, whereas the Red One's, you know, this or that, ever. So to me, I had no preference overall on camera. In terms of what I use for my documentaries, I use the Lumix GH4 and the Canon 5D. Love them both. Joe's Own Leia, did you get with any ladies on your America trip? If yes, how fit? No, I didn't get with any girls in America because I was there to skateboard and I was basically homeless and disgusting for a long period of time. Second of all, that part of the question, if yes, how fit? I don't like that that's what you care about here. Sorry, mate. Mr. Tom Pets, have you got any tips on growing your online community and any views on the Canon 6D? I've never used the Canon 6D, but I love the Canon 5D. I love the images it produces and the aesthetic to those images. Yes, my focus right now for the next year, my targets are building my online audience. Shadow McNeil, have you ever shot footage whilst trespassing like a little madhead? Yes, I have. I've done that a lot. I shot pretty much a whole feature film on while trespassing. Margaret, what are the places you want to visit the most, and where do you want to live in the future? Country/city and why? By the way, if you someday needed a travelling partner around Russia, I'm happy to help. Russia's on the list. Follow me on Twitter. What are the places you want to visit the most? I want to visit, there's so many places I want to visit, like New Zealand, Australia, the Middle East I really want to go to, North Korea I want to go to, Africa, South America, Canada. There are so many places I haven't been yet that I really, really want to go to. Far East, everywhere. And where do I want to live in the future? London, Bristol, New York, wherever. Who has inspired you to become a filmmaker? Freddie W, actually. Yeah, Freddie Wong. Dan Scholar, are there any films you're working on that we should know about? Also, big respect for what you're doing. Obviously working on editing the LA2NY film, more films coming out, and I'm working at the moment on a film to do with going to India. That was a weird noise on the roof then. Extreme TV, how big is your dick? Huge, just ask your mum. Flippy Flick, what do your parents, does family think about your filming career? Do you have anyone who put you down or say you can't make it? My parents are super supportive of everything I've done. Back in the past, they weren't, well, you know, there were times when they were a little bit nervous about me not being interested in school and wanting to do other things, but they kind of get it now. And yes, I mean, it's difficult because I haven't made it, so to speak. So me being like, oh yeah, all those haters, fuck the haters, I made it. But yeah, there's always people that want to put you down. Of course, we've had loads of people online try and put me down about the LA to NY film, saying we'd never make it to New York. I had friends of mine that were worried we would never make it to New York. You know, you have all the time, you have people put you down, and it's, you know, all for sorts of different reasons. You know, sometimes people think if they push you down that, you know, that will bring them up. Sometimes people just do it because they're jealous. Some people do it because they're concerned. There are loads of reasons, but you kind of just have to ignore it and power through. When did you realise you wanted to be a filmmaker? When I was 16. How long have you been longboarding? I started longboarding a few months before we went to Wales. Okay, last question. Music Hal. Hey Rupert, here's my question. What do you plan on doing in the future as your real job? Burn. And also, could you subscribe to me? It will be great. I do music and mini short films. Hello, Music Hal. Filmmaking. That's what I want to do for my real job. To be honest, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not interested in money. If I can do what I love and I can support myself, you know, and do it well enough so that I can just live like that, and I can travel and I can make films, that's what I want to do with my life. I checked out your channel, but you haven't put any videos up. So, you put one up, but... So, that concludes this Q&A. Thank you very much for watching this unbelievably generic YouTube video. I appreciate it. If you like, subscribe to like this video, subscribe to my channel, etc, etc, etc. Spam, spam, spam. New video up in 2 weeks. We're doing the reason this is all a little bit rushed is literally starting today from this evening. We're doing a 60-hour film challenge for the Colchester Film Festival, which is where you get like a line of dialogue and a title, and you have to make a film in 60 hours and send it to them, which isn't a lot of time to make a film. Normally it takes me about 1.5 years to make a proper theatrical short film, but 2 weeks time we'll be releasing the actual film that we made as well as the behind the scenes process. So that'll be the next film, and then after that, well, you're just going to have to wait and see, but we have another documentary after that on the way. Thank you very much for watching again. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Follow.